This meeting to order at 10 o'clock. We are here to hear from the Kootenai Shoshone Soil and Water meet and greet. And Carla, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, what I handed you guys were just our performance report for last year, highlighting projects that we do in the area. There's also little flyers here that are individual per project that we have.
Okay.
Just kind of gives you a simplified version of what we're doing, what we're about, what we help the landowners with, and things like that. We currently have a project that we're finishing up here in Shoshone County, and looking to do some more. We've been working with Jessica, the road department, on doing that. So, and I think our engineers reached out to her as well to get in more ideas of projects that we can do up here and get grants. And we wanted to come up, meet you guys since you're new commissioners, and let you know who we were and touch base.
So this brochure about this seedling sale. So when do you do that?
We sell seedlings. We do the actual sale all year long, but we deliver them in April, every spring.
Okay. I get people asking about stuff like that. So it's good to, I'll have to read through your brochure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have 4 districts that make up our division in northern Idaho, and we actually have one in Benoit that does the tree sales. We all operate in the same tree sale. So if you've got people that are closer to Benoit versus us, please send them.
So could you help us, since this is for the public to hear too, a little bit about like, what's your mission statement? Why do you exist, and what is your mission?
I think Bob Flagger would be better. He is our historian on our board. So he was my predecessor, and I turned to him for a great wealth of knowledge. We can never let him out of this board.
So do you want the condensed version?
Well, yeah,
complete.
Help us understand exactly what you guys do.
I think it would be helpful for the public to understand your purpose and goals. This is a great chance to market what you guys do.
Well, we were born out of the Dust Bowl. And of course, you know, history has recorded that quite well. There was a soil scientist from North Carolina, Hugh Hammond Bennett, who was greatly concerned prior to the Dust Bowl about soil erosion and soil health. And so as the Dust Bowl continued and the conditions got worse, he was able to convince Congress to establish the Soil Conservation Service. This would have been probably about 37 or 38. Right, in 1939, state of Idaho, under the auspices of the Soil Conservation Service, created the Soil Conservation Commission, the Idaho State Soil Conservation Commission, to preserve and protect soil resources. Well, and so in 1941, Kootenai County started their soil conservation district with same goals, soil conservation and soil protection. In 1975, since Shoshone County did not have their own conservation district, they just joined forces. So we have the Kootenai Shoshone. Kootenai got the Coeur d'Alene River watershed. We split Shoshone County on the Kellogg Divide, and then Benoit County got the St. Joe watershed, and so that's why you have to deal with both of us. So we handle all of Shoshone County in the Coeur d'Alene watershed.
That makes sense.
And it makes perfect sense. The trouble is, from our standpoint, is we are grossly underfunded and understaffed. you might be familiar
I'm
with it.
familiar with this problem. Yeah.
And so we do have an office provided by NRCS, Natural Resource Conservation Service, which through the evolution of things is the old Hugh Hammond Bennett Soil Conservation Service. So that our mission over time has expanded to more than just soil conservation.
Mhm.
We now deal with water quality, soil health, crop health, forestry. Since we are under the umbrella of the Department of Ag, as is the U.S. Forest Service, we have decided that timber is an agricultural crop, or can be. So we deal with private non-industrial forests. Okay. So much of Shoshone County, of course, is U.S. Forest Service, National Forest. We don't have anything to do with them, and they don't have anything to do with us, but we do assist private foresters, private landowners with any kind of forest needs they have. And if you look at the list of practices that we are able and willing to assist with, it could be everything from maintaining a forest road to thinning projects, fuel breaks. You name it, anything that has to deal with forestry, as long as it stays away from a national forest, has to be private, we'll deal with it. We offer financial assistance, technical assistance. We have all of the technical staff from NRCS, our federal partner, and from the Idaho State Soil Conservation Commission. We partner with Department of Lands if we need additional forestry assistance, for example. We just call up our buddies at IDL and say, hey, we need some help. Would you come out here and give us some guidance on this? And they will help provide a plan. So that's kind of the general overview.
Appreciate that. Yeah, he does know his history.
He does. He is amazing. What?
I've been here a long time.
Yeah, that's the best way. Yeah.
Your entity's the one that does the water inspection, watercraft inspections?
We do. We have 4 boat stations. Mhm.
Yeah, I may have left out a few details.
That's one of our big grants that we get through USDA, Department of Ag, and Idaho. So we have 4. We have one at 4th of July Pass, Rose Lake, Hauser Lake, and State Line. Yeah.
At the port of entry.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
that's right.
And so we have 4 boat stations that we staff in the boat season. So it usually runs March to October. We usually have about 60 additional employees that are the inspectors there.
Cool.
So what project have you guys been working on now with the road department?
We've been working with Jessica on, there were 3 sites. It was above Bumblebee Bridge, which has been completed. And on the back, there's just a little type of update of that project. And the second project, site 2, is also just above it a little bit, about 1.5 miles. And then the one we're finishing up is on a private landowner, which is upriver from Pritchard, about 1.5 miles. And we're gonna finish that up in the fall. I think you've already gone in and done a culvert there.
Correct.
The road department has. So that we're working with them, and it's on a private landowner. We're gonna try to put up some plantings and vegetation to keep his he's got a little camper that's down near the river that gets flooded at high water. So we're gonna go in and try to put some vegetation in and some root wads and things like that to try to keep the water from coming up near the camper.
So stabilize the
Stabilizing,
plants.
yeah, bank stabilization, that kind of thing. Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah. We're always looking for more projects up there. We actually, John sits on our board and, he's great for, Shoshone County representing that because he can bring us projects that we're not up here to see on a daily basis. So we look to him to,
He's overall a pretty good guy. Just
yeah, we like him. We're gonna keep him around.
we like him.
Y'all like him too? He works out.
Yeah.
Good.
Whenever I need an exciting tour of the sewer district or
Yeah.
anything,
He's the one.
he's my guy. Yeah, he's been doing some very positive things in our county. So.
Yes, yes. We're a big support with that, with the sewer district. So
Mhm.
that's how we met him. And, when he came to the board for support, now he's a board member. So
Gotta be careful where you go, don't you?
I was like, he's got a lot of knowledge from Shoshone County. It's like, yeah, we need somebody from Shoshone County. So we wrangled him in.
Well, we sure appreciate what you're doing and we appreciate you coming and sharing it with us so that we can share with the public what you're doing. So just one more time, summarize for the public, what kind of projects might somebody have in their backyard that they could come to you for assistance with?
Stream bank restoration. If they're losing a lot of stream bank, we have a lot of people in the summertime that are on the rivers and creeks and the wake boats that come through is washing and eroding the banks, and they're gonna start losing property and property up towards your house is, so we go in and we stabilize those. And what we do is we'll send out our engineer to look at it. He's with the state, so he's one of our resources that we use. And he'll look at some of the concerns of the area, and we try to match it with a grant cycle that would work for that, so we can get funding to help go in and fix that.
Okay.
So,
Any further questions for you?
no,
Well, I want to thank you again for
Thank
your
you.
service and for what you're doing, and thank you for the history on that. I taught history, so I always enjoy history. So, yeah, nobody's talked about the Dust Bowl in a while, so
One of my favorite subjects,
yeah,
good times.
yeah. Oh, and thank you for being a part of that. This whole thing.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We find John's project very interesting,
Mhm.
this new expansion.
I do too. Yeah, yeah. We've been there to visit and hear about that, so it's just nice to see positive news in the county. So
Mhm.
appreciate it.
So I would like to encourage you in, of course, you have to be careful with Hatch Act, to do everything you can to support John in getting reelected.
I'll talk with you.
That can be a struggle, because the way, the way our district is set up, all of Kootenai County and half is Shoshone County. And so Kootenai County kind of gets its way most of the time. Unless Shoshone County really gets out its, every voter. I want you to encourage every voter in Shoshone County to vote for John, to keep him on our board. We need him.
Otherwise, we end up with all Kootenai County people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need somebody to represent Shoshone desperately.
Okay. Well, we'll start with this. Will go out on our website, and that'll be a good reminder for folks. But everybody in town likes this guy, so I don't know. It shouldn't be a problem.
Good. Good. He's a
Well,
good
they
guy.
need to show up.
They need to actually put it into action. And when is
Yes.
that election for you? In November
Yeah, so it's up for the 2024.
2024?
Well, yeah, the upcoming election, and I am,
Yes,
and Lauren
Lauren will be.
the chairman.
Mhm.
Now, our chairman also asked me to ask you if you had any information you could share with us on your proposed parking lot by the snake pit.
I can tell you that we have just begun the process. We are exploring grant opportunities, and we are just now surveying the site, and we just yesterday met with several local residents to determine what their concerns were. Of course, we have the double challenge. Everybody knows we have a problem up the river with over visitation, but when it comes to solutions, then everybody has different ideas about what to do with that. So right now, we are exploring the possibility of turning this 5-acre piece into some parking, but that means we've got to organize shuttle systems, and we've got to figure out how to get people safely from the parking lot to the water, and we've got to protect the landowners in the area from, encouraging trespass and all of that. So we have our work cut out for us. I think there's a reason that the river's been left. There's just no simple fix, but
Something's gotta be addressed.
and it's a FEMA property that we acquired through FEMA, so we have limitations on what we can and cannot do with the property, and it's in the flood zone. I believe it's all flood zone property, not floodway. So we've got P&Z to involve. Every time I say, oh, and we could put a chain link fence, oh, you can't do that in the flood zone. So, I mean, we just have we've got a lot of research. What I had hoped would be a quick, let's get it going this summer. Now I have to say, well, as soon as we can get through all the research and figure out a solution, and I don't know that we're going to find a plan that everybody loves, but we are trying to figure out how to get all the illegal parking and the safety problems as much as we can. And if we could encourage shuttle systems and reduce the traffic up there. So that's a hot button.
Yeah.
If you have any suggestions or ideas, we'll be happy to hear
Of course not. However,
them. Okay.
we are very good. You decide what you want to do, and if it fits in with our mission, we're very good at assisting you in finding funding and whatever kind of permitting you might need. We're good at that. So,
Okay. Well, would this fit within your mission? We're trying to create we're trying to alleviate a traffic problem of flow. And I don't just mean cars. I mean, human traffic on the river, the sewage, the waste. We're thinking about something that could house, restrooms, more dumpsters, trying to get some of the stuff out of the river and into the dumpster.
water quality is our big thing.
Yeah.
So that multi-purpose piece of property is what
Yeah.
we're after.
Yeah, and being, actually a subset of state government, where, we don't have agency status. That gives us the flexibility to, just think about it. Is this to the benefit of the natural resources of our district and to the people of our district? And if you can answer those questions in the affirmative, yeah, it's in our mission.
Well, then we should be including you in our planning, because that's our goals, is how do we help the people and how do we protect the environment up the river that's being overwhelmed right now. So
When you need something, call John.
now I can start calling you back for stuff. Okay, well, we'll just throw you on the planning committee if you want. So we'll keep you posted of our plans, and you maybe could liaison and help us like, hey, there's an opportunity where maybe they could help here or there.
Be glad to help where I can.
Yeah, okay.
We'll take all the resources, right? I just had Jessica out at the site yesterday trying to figure out legally what we can do for egress and ingress, and making sure that there's just a million rules to comply with to do it correctly. But
Yeah.
we're trying to resolve safety problems, not create new ones. But in my mind, if we could find a way to get some people off the road and get their waste where it belongs, that would be good for the river. Yeah.
Sure.
So. And good for a lot of those Kootenai folks, because of course that's where a lot of our traffic
Yeah,
is coming from.
definitely.
Is Kootenai County brings a lot of summer traffic to the area, so. But, oh, well, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate,
Thanks for having
us.
appreciate the
Thank you.
background and the history.
And I'll
being
probably
here.
next one for the other
Yeah,
commissioner.
yeah,
if
he
you'll
couldn't
just
be
forward
here,
it.
so I'll
Okay.
put that on his desk.
All right. Thank
And,
you.
if
Yeah.
there's nothing further, then we will officially adjourn this meeting, which